Hello and welcome to the Rockies Boys Talk Sheet. Today's episode, we're going to do a breakdown of the NFL draft, all three rounds. The draft is now concluded. It is the day after the draft, and I'm going to give you my grades, my top grades of the teams. And I'm going to do some in-depth detail here. It's a lot of notes and stuff like that, so just kind of bear with me here. Also, this is just my opinion of the draft because I love watching college football, and I do watch college football every year, a lot. Other than last year I kind of missed some during the COVID and the whole. It was kind of rough to evaluate from last year, given COVID. No fault of any coaching staff, any college out there, college program, or any player or anything. No fault to the opt outs or anything like that. It was just a struggle last year for 2020. I'm going to give you, there's 32 teams. Here's how I'm going to do this. I might even talk about all of them, but the top 16, about half the teams, it was about half of them where I really liked their draft. So I'm going to do the top 16 teams, draft-wise. And then I definitely saw 4 true losers. I know that a lot of people believe there's 2 losers, maybe 3. I see 4 true losers. Now, a lot of people out there, have them as a grade of, B plus, A minus. Not even close. I got this 14, it may be a shocker, it may not be, but I have them at a D plus, and I'll explain why. I could be wrong. Sometimes I am wrong. Hell, Mel Kiper ain't always perfect, but he's like supposedly this draft day guru. He misses on some. He missed on Patrick Mahomes, saying he was going to be a bust whenever where he went. And look at Patrick Mahomes. You'll miss on some of these. It's just an opinion, a personal opinion, and what you see in college. Like I said, sometimes they develop way more better into a way better player than they did in college in the pros. And sometimes the really great players in college just don't pan out in the pros. So it goes both ways here. But I'm going to be doing a breakdown of the NFL draft. So please make sure you do like and subscribe if you want more videos. I got a lot of content on my channel, and I put out a lot of content. I've only been around for less than 2 months, but let's get to it. Now, this is not just because it's my team, but the best team that I believe had the best draft. And this is how I'm gonna explain how I'm rating this. Team needs best player available when they have the pick. How they accumulate picks, if they draft back or draft up, if they were still able to get a really, really great player, things like that. Also, unfairly to some teams like the Houston Texans, you didn't get a first and second round pick. That does hurt. That is going to hurt you, period. So that does hurt their grade a lot. But also, I'm going to evaluate on if you overhaul a position that maybe you don't need, or if you don't fill your needs. So there's a lot of it that goes into this category. My number one team that had the best draft, in my opinion, is my Dallas Cowboys. Defense, 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 defense. After last year and what happened, I love what they did. You saw J.C. Horn and Patrick Surtain go 8-9 right before Dallas at 10. Those were their top 2 guys on their board. I am certain those were their top 2 guys on their board. So whenever you lose out on, probably top 2, top 3 corners in the draft here, you got to go at another position of need on defense. And I will tell you what, one of the best players out of the first round period They got it 12. And the good thing is that adds an extra to why I put them at the top. They moved back, trading with what shocked me, division rivals, Eagles, to go from 10 to move back to 12. The Eagles went up there. They got their receiver in Devontae out of Alabama. We were still able to get Micah Parsons, linebacker out of Penn State. Now, 2 years ago, just go to 2 years ago on the tape. That dude was ridiculous. That dude is amazing. I love what he brings to the Cowboys on defense, and especially in that linebacker room. You pair him with Jalen and Van Der Esch. That's basically in this draft. Sean Lee, he's done, gone, not thought about right now. But we had a steal at that 12 pick. I love that they also gained a third round pick, an extra third round pick. And you'll see. And what they drafted with him, another awesome pick. I love all of the Cowboys picks. Every single one of them. I think they did an amazing job addressing the defense the first 2 days and even into day 3. I love what they did. Now, after I did want offensive linemen, with the injuries after last year, but man, they started going early, and then day 2, they kind of, by the time that they got their second, third, that was not the really good ones and solid starters were taken, in my opinion. I think it was more backups, and you just had to keep going what you needed. And the defense was the biggest priority. And they hit home runs consistently. And the thing that I love the most about this draft, they kept getting players in later rounds that were first and second round talent. And some of them, I love how they got Cox. I love how they got him. Jabril Cox, another linebacker. Dude, he was projected to go in the top 30, even towards the bottom of the first round. And they got him in a steal in the third round. I love everything about this draft. And it just screams to me that they got a heck of a lot better. A heck of a lot better. Now, I'll do a complete breakdown of some other teams here. Some of these you're not going to like. I'm not going to lie. You're not going to like them. I'll tell you a sleeper. I thought Kelvin Joseph with the 44th pick from Kentucky, the corner. Do y'all not remember? I don't really judge last year that much. But do y'all not remember the last couple years before that? Kentucky's defense was legit, guys. They were legit. And we got a couple of them out of Kentucky. We got the defensive tackle late, and then we got that corner. I think he's actually going to be a starter, a really good starter at corner. And actually, I thought he was probably the 4th and 5th corner in this entire draft. And we got him at 44. So I really love what we did. And the defensive tackle, the defensive end, everything screams awesome. Like, whenever you can get a first-round rated player in Jabril Cox at pick 115, that's insane. At the latest, he was going second. At the latest, mid to early second round. So I love that linebacker out of LSU. I love that pick. And like I said, that late pick from Kentucky defensive tackle Quentin Bohanna, loved it. That was pick 192 here. I don't know, that last round pick, Matt Fournier. I didn't see enough of him. I didn't really watch a lot of Nebraska, so I don't know. Hopefully he might pan out and can maybe make the team. But yeah. Also, the Marshall offensive tackle, Josh Ball. Don't sleep on him. Do not sleep on him. So, and then Chauncey Golston. Awesome. Now, the second best draft, in my opinion, is the Lions. Now, I'm going to go through this whole list here. I give them an A plus. Dallas has an A plus, and the Lions have an A plus. And here's why mainly the Lions have an A plus, and it's because one team got stupid that drafted before them. Main reason is the first round pick. They got who I have been saying I wanted my Cowboys to be able to take at 10. It didn't happen. But Panay Sewell, offensive tackle out of Oregon, fell to them at number 7. And this is, I'm going to give you a clue on what team was one of my 4 biggest losers. When Cincinnati wanted to give Joe Burrow his college teammate receiver, I understand he's a great receiver, but he just got hurt. He just got hurt and had surgery. And I am telling you, Panay Sewell screams future Hall of Famer, flat out first ballot. Offensive tackle. You need to protect your quarterback. Cincinnati screwed the pooch. Because this guy would have been amazing. And you could have put him in all kinds of different spots. They should have went with protecting Joe Burrow over, let's be buddy, give him his teammate a wide receiver. There was a lot of receivers in this draft. There was not an offensive lineman like Panay Sewell. But, like I said, and that's the main reason why the Lions, are to me, are the second bet. Because, like I said, Panay Sewell's an A+++. Like, he's 3 pluses, man. Just by himself on a grade. And then I really love what they did in the second round. They got that Washington defensive tackle, Levi. Some of these names, you got to bear with me. On Wuzurike with the 41st pick. I thought that was real good. And then I'm going to go with the Syracuse corner. Ifatui Malafanui with the 101st pick. I had him going probably around 70th. I thought he was probably the 6th best corner in this draft. And they got him later. And they did good. And also, I think Amonra St. Brown, the receiver out of USC with the 112th pick, thought that was a steal too. So I think they got really good picks that were rounds ahead of them than where they got them, where they drafted them at. Like, I mean, they did really good. Now, my third team on my list is the Cleveland Browns. I know some of y'all are saying, really? Cleveland? No, Cleveland did an amazing job. They were the host city of this draft, and they came to play. They didn't come there to mess around. They did an amazing job. That front office now and the GM and the head coach and everybody in that front, they're on the same page, and they are working really good the last 2 years, what they've done there. Cleveland is going up. It's trending way up, everybody. You all better stop sleeping on these Cleveland Browns and like the Pittsburgh Steelers before last year's playoff game, the same old Brownies. You better just get that out of your head right now. With that front office, I would not think that way at all. And the team that they already have talent-wise and who they added in this draft is legit. They are legit contenders this year with these players. These players that they got perfectly fit their team. The corner out of Northwestern, Greg Newsome II, fits the Browns. Crazy good. Love it. And then they went out and got Notre Dame linebacker Jeremiah Owusu Kamara with the 52nd pick. That dude should have went in the first round. He was first round talent. Like, he went in the second, but that was probably the second or third best linebacker in the entire. Look, linebackers, I think, were actually strong this year. Like, there could have been 5 in the first 50 picks, 5 or 6 in the first 50. Like, legit. And then Anthony Swartz, Auburn wide receiver. I think that people are going to be like, what? Dude, Auburn is not known for quarterbacks. Their quarterbacks honestly kind of suck. And I'm telling you, this receiver is going to have a way better NFL career than college. You all do not sleep on Anthony Swartz. And these later picks, they got offensive tackle out of Cincinnati, defensive tackle Tommy Toge at Ohio State. I really like that pick. That late pick, 132nd pick out of Ohio State. I love all these picks that they have are awesome. So another A plus rating there. And then my fourth is the Vikings. Honestly, I'm just gonna flat out just keep this simple. They addressed all their what they needed. They addressed it in the draft, and honestly, I like every single pick that they made, every single one. So they're another A plus just because they did their job, flat out to the fullest. The Vikings A plus. I loved every pick that they did. Every pick fits their team and what they need and what they're looking for. So the Vikings did a hell of a job every round in this draft. Now, the fifth team is the Atlanta Falcons. They did good. Like I said, there's like the first 10 teams did really good in this draft. Like there's really no losers in the first 10 at all. I really love Kyle Pitts. You cannot say enough. That dude is gonna be a stud in the NFL. He is a once-in-a-lifetime tight end. They fell to him at 4. Yeah, I'm not going to knock them for not going quarterback because, dude, their quarterback is still good, and it's not like he's 45 years old. He can still play at a high level, I believe. So I love what they did with Kyle Pitts because that tight end, man, they got a beast there. But I also love their second and the fourth round, the San Diego State corner, Darren Hall, going 108. I thought he should have went higher than that. Like I said, corners, linebackers, the wide receivers, like to me, stout this year. And Darren Hall, I think, was highly underrated. And I think he was misplaced by far. I think he is a great fit in Atlanta. And I think he's immediately going to help that dreadful secondary in Atlanta right away. So is the safety out of UCF, Richie Grant, with their second-round pick. Love that pick. That dude is full speed. That dude is a hitter. That dude is – I love that player at safety. Honestly, kind of wished he would have been there for my Cowboys. I actually thought that would have been a great pick for them. But, Falcons stole him away. I liked him a lot. But also that guard, out Jalen Mayfield out of Michigan, like a lot of their picks. Now, I didn't like, their last two picks, the corner out of Boise State, Avery Williams, and the Arizona State wide receiver, Frank Darby. So that's why they're still up there. Because it's like the very late picks, but all the picks ahead of that could all potentially be starters for this team. Dude, you cannot go wrong with probably getting 7 starters out of a draft. Like, that's a damn good job. Now, the 16th, they're still in the A category here. It's going to be hard to say it. But it's Giants. New York Giants had a great draft as well. As a Cowboy fan, that's not easy to say. I'm very hopeful that they don't do good, but I can't say that. They did very, very well. They got Kadarius Toney, I thought very underrated receiver. I thought maybe he could be actually the second best receiver in this class, honestly. Um, dude, all their picks are good. Georgia, they got that outside linebacker Aziz Ojulari, first round talent there. They got him in the second. The UCF corner, Aaron Robinson, a stud. A stud, guys. Got him in the third. That was late first, possibly early to mid second at worst talent. So they got a lot of talent rounds later than where I see them at and where they probably should have went. And that's basically across the board of all their players, to be honest. Because I think, believe it or not, I think Kadarius Toney should have been the second receiver. I think Waddle was right. Believe it or not, some people picked that. What? Why would you take Waddle over the Heisman Trophy winner Devontae? Before Waddle got hurt, you better go look at before and after he got hurt. I'm telling you, Waddle was better of the two. I think Waddle is a better receiver than Devontae. And I also think Kadarius Toney is a better receiver than Devontae. I think he's going to have a better NFL career than Devontae. So, the Giants did good. Blah, blah. They got an A. Now, my seventh team here is the Buffalo Bills. Guys, don't be shocked again if you see them in the AFC Championship game, and if they give Kansas City a run for the money to make it to the Super Bowl. Do not be surprised if the Bills come out of the AFC this year for the Super Bowl. They did everything right for their team. Here's the key words: the players that they drafted entirely fit their roster and fit their team and fit what they're looking for. It fits them really good. Starting out with that Miami defensive end, Gregory Rousseau. They picked him with the 30th pick. Great pick. Beautiful fit for them. And then they got another defensive end out of Wake Forest, Carlos Basham Jr. Some people knock it. Some people like it. Some people don't love it. I think that he fits really well with them. You start out with two awesome D-line, edge, defensive end, and then their next two picks were also really good. I mean, dude, Josh Allen's got to love them. They go straight after two D linemen, then they go straight two offensive tackles. Spencer Brown out of Northern Iowa. Don't sleep on that kid. That kid is a beast, guys. And the Miami of Ohio, Tommy Doyle. Love that pick. Thought he should have been picked a round and a half before that. So they did great across the board. Just in those picks alone, they're there. The rest of them, I don't know much about, but just the first four picks, Buffalo Bills did an outstanding job. Because basically, that team is going. Put this team and put at where I project those players, put them on that Bills team and play Kansas City. It's a whole different ball game. It's a whole different ball game. So I definitely got the Buffalo Bills there with an A-. Now, Carolina is next with the 8th best draft. I thought Carolina Panthers did an amazing job as well. Kind of mad. They took J.C. Horn. Was one of the two corners that I wanted us to get, or that I saw us getting. As the draft got closer, I did like J.C. Horn the best. There was some of them I didn't want. But J.C. Horn is going to be a complete straight up week 1 starter for the Carolina Panthers, and he's straight up going to be good. He's going to lock you down. He is going to lock you down. And Terrence Marshall Jr., I love that pick out of wide receiver out of LSU. The tight end, Tommy Trimble out of Notre Dame. Sleeper tight end, guys. He reminds me, there's a few of these tight ends in this draft that remind me a lot of Jason Witten. Not the fastest, but I'm telling you, he's gonna have a stellar career. And just like Jason Witten, I believe. And I love what they did with Chuba Hubbard. Getting that Oklahoma State running back and with the 126 pick. Chuba Hubbard, I think he should have went in the top 80, top 70. I think they got a steal at Oklahoma State at running back there, and I think that he can do a lot more than just be running back. I think he's gonna be definitely a dual threat there. So him and McCaffrey, I think they're gonna be awesome together. I think they're gonna probably, it might take Chuba Hubbard maybe 1 year. But I think going into maybe not this year, but the season after that, I think him and Chuba Hubbard are going to be a 1-2 punch in this league for years to come. Now, the ninth pick. The ninth best draft is the Bears. Mainly because Chicago Bear fans are at ease now. Going into the draft, they were not happy. They were pissed off, and they wanted their coach and their GM's head before the draft. They wanted them fired and out of their town. But then guess what? The Bears come sweeping in, trade up to number 11, and get the savior of Chicago, and who a lot of people believe was the second best quarterback in this entire draft. But he is the fourth quarterback taken in the draft at number 11. And they go up and get the Ohio State quarterback, Justin Fields. And then the Chicago fan base starts to celebrate. That alone puts you in the top 10 of the best drafts. Because you finally have a legit quarterback. I thought I wasn't high on him, Justin Fields. But if there was 3 teams that I thought that he could actually do well for, and the city where he would do amazing for the city, my top one was actually Chicago. So that's why they got up there. Because I actually think he fits in I think he fits in extremely well with Chicago. And with their defense that they have, I think that he's not going to wear that. He's going to be on the field more. I think he went exactly where he needed to go. I think Chicago Bears is a great fit for him, and I actually think now he probably could have a really good NFL career here. And watch out for Chicago Bears, Green Bay Packers in your division, because you just may not win your division this year, especially if Aaron Rodgers ain't there. The 10th best draft with a B+ rating, also the Bears got a B+ there, is the Baltimore Ravens. Now, I know some people aren't big on the Baltimore Ravens draft. I am. Some people have them high as top 6, top 5 draft classes. Nah, I'm not going there. They're 10th to me. Now, Rashad Bateman, wide receiver, Minnesota. Good receiver there. Not complaining. If you cannot get more yards passing with Rashad Bateman and Hollywood Brown, then Jesus Christ, what more does their quarterback need? He is not a good passer. He can run all over the field. Lamar Jackson can. But you cannot give that excuse because Rashad Bateman is going to be a stud at wide receiver. He was a stud in college, and he was one of the main reasons, one of the main players that made Minnesota good last year, or the year before that. Don't sleep on Rashad Bateman at all. Love the Penn State outside linebacker, Adelphi Owe. Great coming in there, getting him towards the end of the first round. The SMU corner, Brandon Stevens. I like him better than the Georgia guard. I SMU corner. I loved him. I thought he's one of the really. It's going to be a starting corner. Telling you. And then another one. If they can coach him right, because if they can put him in the right situation, and maybe even put him at safety, something like that, this could work out. I've got a question mark, but this could either be a really big hit or a bust. But I'm leaning towards this could potentially be a big hit, and this is Ohio State corner Shaun Wade. Now he got beat. Whenever he got beat, okay, in the secondary. But I'm thinking, if you can put him at safety, that might actually be his better position. Just my opinion. Not corner. Or put him in the slot. And not on the outside receiver. One of the two. Safety or slot receiver. I think one of those two he'd be locked down. Locked down, in my opinion. So hopefully Baltimore sees that. If they do, I think they're going to get a very big steal in the late round. 11 with a B+ is Arizona Cardinals. I love it. I love all their picks because I think every pick that they make is probably going to make their roster. Be starters or straight up backups. And going into a draft, your main objective is to try to get starters with every players that you see making your roster. And I believe the Cardinals did just that. That's why they're 11. That's why they're B+. I think every single player they picked is going to make this team. I truly do. The Packers with a B. Here's where we kind of get the B's and the B- territory and the high C's, okay? Packers have a B because their draft started out bad. Aaron Rodgers wants to be traded. Oh, go figure. Now, me personally, I think he's a big crybaby, and I just think he needs to shut the hell up because, honestly, you keep crybabying about a receiver in the first round. Want more help. Dude, your offense has been good. Your offense is nowhere near the problem. It's your defense, especially whenever playoff comes around. Your defense needs to help you out more. It's where you I like what they did. Addressing their defensive needs. Because you want to be able to get on the field more. You don't want, your defense to just allow other teams' offenses, going up and down the field. You don't want that. And I think that the picks they made on defense were really good, and they made sense. And they did get you a really good wide receiver in the third round. Who is ironically also named A. Rodgers. So here's the other good part. You're at least going to have a Rodgers on your team. You're at least going to have an A. Rodgers on your team guaranteed this year. More than likely, Green Bay fans, because they're not going to cut that receiver. He's going to be good. He's going to be their gimmick plays guy. I definitely see him in the slot, and I definitely see him being their returner, punt returner and kick returner. So he's locked in there, I believe. I'm a surefire thing. So you got a receiver in the third round, and they addressed the needs that they needed. Look, dude, it's not all about you, Aaron Rodgers, you fucking crybaby. Your offense is really good. You got a great running back behind you. You got a probably, if not the best receiver, and then you got a really good, probably could potentially be great, better version of Randall Cobb at slot and return man and dual threat. You can do play action with him. You can do dink and dunk throws with. You can do a lot with that wide receiver. So why don't you just shut up and let your team address the other needs elsewhere that they really need to, and that's that defense. If you have a better defense, you can compete better. Okay, it's not all about you, you fucking crybaby. Now, 13, the Colts with a B grade. Um, Good defensive picks the first 2 rounds. That's kind of what I liked about it. I mean, I thought they didn't do overly great, but their their first defensive picks, loved them. Loved them. Thought they fit really well with the coach there, in Quiddipe and Dio Odiobio. Uh, Sorry if I butchered that. But the defensive ends out of Michigan and Vanderbilt and that tight end out of SMU, I think he's going to be solid. He's not going to be great. And then I think you potentially have a really great safety out of Florida in Sean Davis. I don't know. I'm on the fence about him, but he has the potential to be really good in this league. So I really like overall what the Colts did there. And then the Jags kind of, to me, opinion wise, they got to be. But I think they actually reached on some of their picks. I think they could have waited to get some of them later on. And I do not like it all. I understand that they match these young quarterbacks with their college teammates. I get it. Understand. But cry me a river. You got to go with what you need more. I thought instead of running back, they should have went lineman here. I would not have took Travis Etienne with the 25th pick there. I do not like that at all. I think, if you wanted to, try to trade back up and get in the second, because I think he would have – I don't think that he would have got picked in the first round. I think he would have been in the very beginning of the second. But I thought no running back should have went in the first round. I think it should have been second round. But I think you could have traded up or just stayed where you were at in the second and got him. So I don't like that. I think you could have got Travis Etienne 8 picks later with the 33rd pick instead of the 25th pick. And I think that you should have went offensive lineman there with the 25th pick. That's the main reason why I don't like this one. Other than that, they really did really well everywhere else. But I do not like what they did with that second first round pick. I don't like it. I really don't at all. The Chargers got a B minus. Good first, good first 4 rounds, I think. But then the last 3 rounds, not in my opinion. I don't think they did that well. I think they made some reaches as well, especially in the final 3 rounds. And then the Dolphins with I would probably give them a C plus, B minus, C plus. Caught between there. Great, but great first round. I think that they reached on some second and later. Now, let me get to the 4 biggest bust here, guys, because I think from 17 to 28, I think they're average. I give them all like anywhere between C plus and C minus, but between 17 and 28. But 29 through 32, you're getting straight up some D's and F's here, buddy. Let's start out with the 29th and the 4th worst draft, I believe, in this class. The Patriots. Got them with a D plus. Mac Jones, to me, is going to be a bust. I just foresee he has a way bigger chance of being a bust than the next Tom Brady, as some people see him. I don't see at all him getting close to the next Tom Brady. I don't at all see him being close to Troy Aikman or he's not going to be one of these great quarterbacks. No. Some quarterbacks, I believe, in college, the talent around them is just so awesome. If you look at the tape, when it did break down in the pocket and outside of the pocket, it was awful. He was getting sacked. It was just awful plays, or it was just incompletions, and it was just bad news. If it broke down, you had to have a top tier O line around him, or it is going to falter and falter quick. That's just my opinion on Mac Jones. I thought it was definitely a reach in the first round of 15 there. Honestly, I would have rather went with Kellen Mond. Seriously. That's one of the reasons why I got the Vikings so high at 4, because also I think Kellen Mond reminds me of a Dak Prescott. And I think that was a really good pick for the Vikings as well. And because of the big cap hit, next year for their starting quarterback right now, I think Kellen Mond, wait a year, I think he could potentially be their starter next year. And under a rookie contract. I think that's why I said I think the Vikings had the fourth best draft. Now, the Bengals. Yeah, they're the third worst draft. How you can pass on Penei Sewell, who I have been thinking, man, this could be like the next Orlando Pace. This could be one of the next first ballot future Hall of Famers on the O-line. How you pass that up just to team up your young quarterback who just tore his ACL and had surgery, by the way. How you do not protect him and you go with a receiver. Offensive lineman is a way bigger need than receiver. In the draft, in free agency, anywhere. Wide receiver is nowhere near more important than the offensive lineman. You screwed the pooch big time on this one. He may end up being a really good receiver, but good luck getting that receiver the ball or a lot of production if your quarterback's sitting on his back or hurt or getting surgery or not on the field. You did not. You did your team a disservice, a total disservice with that 5th pick. The Raiders. Oh boy, I've been waiting for this one. They have the second worst draft class with an F. These last two are straight Fs to me. What? I'm going to go here. Here we go. Let me go through their picks here. Offensive tackle, Alex Leatherwood in the first round. Total reach. Could have got him late in the second. Okay? You take him 17 overall. TCU safety, Trayvon Mulring. Okay. I actually like that pick, but here's the next problem. Let's go. You went 2 more safeties. You drafted 3 safeties. You already re-signed your starting safety. Where in the hell do you need 4 or 5 safeties on your team? You don't. You wasted a lot of these extra picks where you could have filled really big more needs. They didn't fill much of their needs here. They truly didn't. In this draft, they either reached or they overdrafted a position. They just got really stupid. I thought straight up a dumb draft for the Raiders. They did not do their job on draft week at all. And the worst draft is the Houston Texans. Now, a lot of it is to do, you didn't have a first and second round pick because of your dumb trade that you did make before you finally fired your GM/head coach. Just stupid trades. Then you start out the third round drafting a quarterback. Okay. I wouldn't have gone there. And the quarterback they drafted, no, and no. I do not see him being a starter in the NFL at any point. I see him as a backup. The only way he does start is if the starter gets hurt. I do not like what the Texans did here in the draft whatsoever. I don't like. I just your first pick. You could have picked the quarterback later. I mean, Jesus Christ. I just, dude, Davis Mills out of Stanford. I'm not. No, I thought he may be the 8th best quarterback or 10th best. He was one of towards the end guys. I'm not big at all on Davis Mills. Then you go get a receiver, Nico Collins, tight end, Brevin Jordan, linebacker, and defensive tackle. Like you did not address the stuff that you all really needed to. You all were a joke. You were a flat out joke. You did an awful job. And